Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 was an amazing year for the Switch, and that's kind of crazy seeing how long the Switch has been around, and we still got amazing games for the console. Now, we are waiting on the Switch too, but that does not mean the Switch is quite over yet. And in this video, we're going to go over 10 games that are coming to the Switch in 2025 that I am very excited about. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. Yeah, that's right, the Switch is not done quite yet. Like, we are waiting for the Switch 2, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop releasing games for the Switch, and we do know the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible, so I honestly think we're going to get a lot of dual releases, at least in this first year. But there are some great Switch games confirmed for 2025. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe. My end goal for 2024 was 14,000 subscribers. I set that as an unrealistic goal, and now we are 50 subscribers away, so a like and subscribe would be very much appreciated. And let's just go ahead and get into the video. So a majority of these games will not be in chronological order, and some of them don't have confirmed release dates yet, they just say 2025. But we do have a game confirmed for January, and that is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. And this is crazy, because this was a Wii game, then I think they released this on the 3DS, now they're releasing it on the Switch. One of my favorite games of all time is the original Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo. It's the Donkey Kong game I have played the most. I go back and play it every single year. I adore Donkey Kong games. They're all great. Tropical Freeze is underrated and amazing. I actually played the 3DS version of this actually this year in 2024. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this up for the Switch. One thing that is crazy is this is $60, which is insane. At most, I feel like they should have released at $40, but you know, there is something called a Nintendo tax. So another game coming to the Switch that I didn't know was confirmed for the Switch just yet, but it's Sid Meier's Civilization 7. Or Civ 7. Yeah. Civ 6 and all the previous entries are very well known. They are legit games you can sink years into. I'm a huge fan of history. It's like one of my favorite things to do is study history randomly, and I sound like a nerd now that I'm saying that. But I love games that have like a historical aspect to it, or take place in old wars, or just that whole kind of thing. So I am actually very excited about this. I was wondering, how different can it be from Civ 6? But it seems like they put a lot of work into this one. There's some new mechanics going into it, and I really cannot believe this game is confirmed for the Switch. So another game that I did not know had a confirmed release date is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. The Xenoblade series is absolutely freaking amazing. I think the games are great, I really do. One thing that I have trouble with is the battling in it. I don't like how it's like this automatic battling mechanic, but the story and the graphics and the game and the world kind of overrides all that and still makes it worth playing, at least in my opinion. I've heard Xenoblade X is a little bit different, and if you've never played any of the games, this is actually a great one to jump into. This game is coming out in March, maybe the end of March, so I kind of feel like this is going to be around the time of the release of the Switch 2. I could see this being one of the first dual releases for the Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch. It was really cool to see the response of this game when it was announced a few months ago, so yeah, this is kind of crazy we're getting this on the Switch as well. So quickly, let's talk about a game that we just know is releasing in 2025. And again, I think it's going to be a dual release for a few reasons. I'm talking about Pokémon Legends ZA. Looking at Scarlet and Violet, it's like Pokemon games are not the most taxing for the Switch. I am very optimistic that Pokémon Legends ZA will be a huge bump up in quality and gameplay and the story. I really think it's going to be a great Pokemon game. I'm actually playing Pokemon Fire Red right now on an emulator. I grew up playing the games, it's one of my favorite franchises of all time. I don't think Nintendo would only release this on the Switch 2, strictly because there's like 150 million people who have a Switch, so you'd be cutting those people off to this Pokemon game. And if you release it for both consoles, you're just going to get even more sales. Look at my face when I tell you that Hollow Knight Silksong is coming out in 2025. Do you see anything different happening here? I am holding out hope that Hollow Knight Silksong is coming out in 2025. I think this game has been done for quite a while. If I'm remembering correctly, I think they showed off gameplay for this game all the way back in 2018 or 2019. That is a long freaking time to be working on any game. And I'll give Team Cherry credit. Like, I know they're a very small team, and I know there were some issues during the pandemic. But come on, man. Release this damn game already. I know hype will never die down for this. Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games of all time. I just beat it again a few months ago, and it was even better than the first time I played it. So I truly cannot wait to play this. It's gonna make me emotional when I play this game because of how much I love Hollow Knight, and the whole atmosphere and the ambiance and the feeling it gives you is next to none. If you do not release this game in 2025, I am coming to wherever Team Cherry is based, and I'm gonna file a complaint. Now let's talk about Rune Factory Guardians of AZUMA. I think that's how you pronounce this game. The classic action RPG and life simulation gameplay, beloved by Rune Factory fans across the globe, is taken into a bold new direction in Guardians of AZUMA. So I think the gameplay, maybe the mechanics, and the overall story, or the way they approach the game is going to be a little different in this one. This is an all-new adventure that takes place in the never-before-seen eastern country of AZUMA, where you will assume the Earth Dancer's powers and fight against the spreading blight to bring hope back to its once prosperous land. In the game, you will choose from one of two protagonists, whose destinies are intertwined by mysterious forces. I don't really know that much about Rune Factory games. This one looks amazing. And the fact that it's, I guess, taking a different approach is probably a good one to jump into. So yeah, this is actually something that's high up on my radar for 2025. Another game that we know is confirmed for 2025, but doesn't have an exact release date yet, is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This is another game that I think is going to be a dual release. I could actually see this game being a launch game for the Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch launched with 10 games, 5 physical and 5 digital. I think the Switch 2 is going to have a massive launch. I'm expecting 10 Switch 2 games, and then 10 other games that are dual releases maybe, and then you're going to have your whole back catalog from the Nintendo Switch. I'm thinking we're going to have around 5 games that are like, holy crap, we're getting these as launch games, and I could see it maybe like a Pokemon game, a new Mario or new Zelda game, probably Mario Kart 9 if I had to pick one, and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is another one of those games that I think is going to be a launch game. Metroid Prime Remastered it's absolutely incredible, so I cannot imagine how amazing Metroid Prime 4 is going to be. So now let's talk about a game that I can't really pronounce that well. I think it's called Atelier, Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. I think that's what this game is called. In a world where alchemy has become taboo and is considered evil, Atelier Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land follows the adventures of Yumia Liesfeld, maybe, and her companions as they seek to uncover the truth behind the fall of the Aladisian Empire. Yumia's quest will take her across a ruined continent, and despite the uncertainties of confronting her past, she will need to create her own path if she hopes to unravel all the mysteries. So this is another game I really don't know much about, but it looks amazing. It really does. And you know, in 2025, that's actually a challenge I have for myself, is to step out of my gaming comfort zone a little bit. I like to play a lot of old games just because I know they're good. Even when I play new games, I'm playing games that are older that I just missed. I do want to step out of my comfort zone in 2025 and experience some new games and some new franchises and some new IPs and just be a little experimental. So this is another game that I'm going to check out. Little Nightmares 3 is also confirmed for the Switch next year, but if I'm not mistaken, this game has a December 31st, 2025 release date. So that is a very late game to get on the Switch. Maybe they'll push up that release date. I don't understand why you would release it on that day. But it's confirmed for the Switch, so we're going to talk about it. Embark on a new adventure in a unique world. You follow the journey of Lo and Alone as they search for a path that could lead them out of the nowhere. Trapped within the spiral, a cluster of disturbing places, the two friends have to work together to survive in a dangerous world full of decisions and escape the grasp of an even greater threat lurking in the shadows. And for the very first time, you're going to be able to play online co-op for this one. So I think in the second one, you could play co-op. This one has online co-op, but it also says you can use an AI companion, so I don't know what that entails. And another game that's been confirmed for 2025, but doesn't have an exact release date, is Professor Layton in the New World of Steam Professor Layton games might seem like a franchise that is kind of niche, right? That's kind of how I would think about it. But this series has sold over 18 million units worldwide. Some of your most popular and favorite franchises have not sold that collectively over multiple decades. 18 million units worldwide is a staggering number. And in these games, you will solve epic riddles as you progress through the story of this puzzle fantasy adventure. This game depicts the world 1 year after the events of Professor Layton in the unwound future. The story takes place in Steam Bison, America. And I like how it has like this whole steampunk thing going on. I don't think I've ever played a Professor Layton game. And if I did, it was like on the DS maybe. If that's even a possibility, I could be making that up. But yeah, this is another game I'm going to take a chance on, and I'm going to be adventurous on, and I'm going to play. Because 18 million copies sold is not for nothing, right? Ladies and gentlemen, these are 10 games confirmed for the Nintendo Switch. I'm expecting some of these to be dual releases for the Switch and Switch 2, but it just shows the staying power of the Switch, and it sets up an exciting future for the Switch 2 as well. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys think about all this. And if you made it to this part of the video, just join the community already. Hit a like and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram because we are growing on both platforms, and that's an amazing thing. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.